TraderInsight.com. I'm Adrian Manns. It's time to go and take a look at these fastball XRV setups and make sure that everybody knows how to get in front of the opportunities for profit that exist each and every day. So I'm going to take today's list, go through them just like we did yesterday, and we'll take a look at where we should be placing our stops and our targets. So those of you who have been trading these for a while, this ought to be pretty simple. This ought to be a recap of what you already know. Let's just go and take a look sort of one by one, and I think you can understand pretty quickly where things should be. So on Auto Home Incorporated, that's ticker symbol ATHM, that was the first one on the list this morning. You wanted to have your entry line down about $81.57, and then you want to establish a stop that is meaningful, a stop that has some account for where things happened in the prior session. So in this case, Auto Home, the first place that I'm looking is up here at like $83.16, and then the next place that I'm looking at a stop is down here about $82.50. So I probably wind up going with the $82.50 level just because that allows me to take into account all this stuff that happened here. If it winds up undoing that early in the trading session, then probably things aren't going to go so well, and at the very least you're going to wind up back up in here, if not all the way back up into this range. So that is the setup for that, and then of course your target on these is always going to be either a dollar or the next pivot line, whichever comes first. So now let's look at Brooks. So here's Brooks Automation. Here's another one where, you know, the stop level is fairly easy to identify right there, about 37 bucks per share. If it gets up above that, then what are you expecting this stock to do? It's going to make this move. That's exactly what it did this morning. No trigger on this one either. So we stayed out of trouble completely. The entry on this, the go line as I call it here in the office, is down there below at about $36.56. And then again, you're just targeting a dollar or that next pivot line, whichever comes first. In this case, $35.66 was the next pivot. So $36.56 on the entry, and we would have had a $35.66 target. Let's move on to NBIX. Now this one was good today. We had an entry line down below $80.33. On NBIX, our stop, initially up around $81.18, and that would be on an entry that got you in down about $80.30. So if you wanted to go higher on that, you could have. I mean, we know that we skipped the first bar entry on this morning. That was just sort of based on where everything was trading. Everything looked like it was moving up into the range. So in the room, you can always join us in the room and sort of get our thoughts on how we're going to trade these in the morning. But first thing in the morning, I said, number 3, let's hold off. Let's wait until the second or third bar. Sure enough, third bar got us in, and then it got down to about 50% of the distance to the profit objective. And this was something that had some people a little confused today. So I don't use a true break even on these, right? I'm sort of looking to see what the stock's going to do. So I did hold it open. You were right, longer than you might have thought, because when it came back up and tested this range, I was just sort of letting it swing in there because I did think that this overhead support and resistance from yesterday was going to hold, and I just didn't get back out of the position when it when it came back up in here and hit this break-even line. If you did, then you really traded it by the rules, or if you automated it and had the rules get you out there, you did it exactly the way that you were supposed to. It's just then you needed to make sure that you got back in again when the stock came down and made this move, because this is the one that would be your second entry, and we always take first and second entries on these. And obviously this one then went down and hit that profit objective at $79.32. So nice trade on that one, easy to set up, easy to figure out. Let's look at Polaris. Polaris, this one would have been a pretty tight stop as far as I was concerned. I was going up $87.33. Now that's on a NYSE stock, and we know that the tendency there is for support and resistance to be a little bit more meaningful than on the NASDAQ. Not as much price elasticity on the NYSE listed securities. So on an 86.85 entry, I had an 87.33 stop. This one never came down, never triggered us in the morning. RPM, on the other hand, this was a good one. This was another NYSE stock. Trigger line, $59.69. And then our stop on this one was going to be right up above here. So it's $60.04. NYSE listed security makes it a, sort of a smoother trader. And then, look what happened. We had a nice move from that 59.69 line down, and it's still trading currently. We got as low as 59.22. We're looking for a move to the downside. We'll see how this one plays out over the rest of the session. And then we had Zillow, and this was another no trigger, but the stop on Zillow would have been up at $42.65 by my book. And the entry on this one, of course, down below that low at $42.12. So if you're having trouble putting the trades together, don't worry about it. Just keep watching the videos, keep going through, see where the logic is, see where the ideas are coming from. They are pretty easy to wrap your head around. What you want to avoid is getting into the habit of every day making those stops tighter and tighter, because that tends to wipe out these trades, and it'll wind up going to the profit objective without you, or at the end of the day you wind up being okay, even though it floated around in the range over the session. Best thing to do is not tinker with them once they're on, and just stick to your guns and stick to the discipline, and make sure that everything goes off and that you're not cherry picking the trades. You want to trade each and every setup, each and every day, and at the end of the month it should have taken care of itself. So if you have any questions, shoot me an email, adrian@traderinsight.com. Hope you had a great trading day today and an even better one on deck for tomorrow. This is the best trader education anywhere, only from traderinsight.com.